Wild boars in Texas. There are still many chapters in our journey through the wild, and today we turn to one of the most urgent. Wild boars are rapidly becoming one of the greatest threats to Texas. They are not only tearing up farmlands and destroying crops, but also damaging infrastructure from rural towns to growing suburbs, even creeping into city edges with their destructive instincts. These feral invaders are responsible for millions of dollars in economic losses every year. Small businesses, from family-owned grocery stores to restaurants, feel the impact as this invasive species disrupts supply chains and destroys livelihoods. Comment number 1 to join us in exploring. Wild hogs is America's nightmare. When wild hogs rise to the level of a national nightmare, the scenes that play out are almost cinematic. In the stillness of a Texas cornfield, the sudden screech of steel wire fills the air as a massive net trap snaps shut, capturing dozens of hogs in seconds. This is not a Hollywood set, but a very real battle fought daily by American farmers against the most destructive invasive species in the country. Experts warn that to keep hog numbers from growing, we must eliminate at least 66 to 70% of their population each year. Yet in reality, only about 29% is being managed. That gap is more than statistics. It is a sign of how this war is slipping away from us. Closing it requires discipline, the right tools, and smarter strategies. For many hunters, the AR-10 rifle has become the weapon of choice, but success depends less on firepower and more on training. Instead of chasing after large trophy boars, hunters must focus on entire sounders, especially females and piglets, because they're the engines of population growth. The most effective hunts are carried out at night with suppressors and night vision scopes, allowing hunters to strike swiftly in open farmland without alerting nearby groups. But despite the effort, the question remains, if hunting is a solution, why are the numbers of wild hogs still climbing? Net traps as a strategic solution. This brings us to the next chapter in the struggle. Why are crude-looking nets replacing rifles and even helicopters in tackling a crisis that drains more than $1 billion annually from American agriculture? The answer lies in efficiency and strategy. Across Texas, Missouri, and beyond, semi-automatic net traps have become the trusted weapon of choice. They require no ammunition, only a circular net, steel stakes, and a carefully designed bait made from fermented corn and gelatin. This irresistible scent lures hogs directly into the trap. But modern net traps are not primitive. Advanced versions now use motion sensors, infrared cameras, and smartphone-controlled triggers, allowing hunters to wait until the entire herd is inside before activating the trap. Success rates at night soar, since hogs are most active and less cautious in darkness. Some areas report capture rates increasing by more than 50% when traps are used overnight. Large steel cage traps also play a vital role. Designed to hold multiple hogs, they can be up to 85% effective when placed strategically. Each trap can capture 3 to 5 hogs, and when used systematically across affected lands, the results compound quickly. To remain humane and lawful, hunters must check traps within 12 to 24 hours, ensuring animals are not left suffering and that traps can be reset swiftly. The peak trapping season runs from fall into early winter, when hogs are desperate for food. Captures during this period not only reduce agricultural destruction, but also slow population growth in areas where boars push into residential zones. Thanks to modern sensors and smart deployment, trap success rates now approach 80%, proving the strategy is both effective and environmentally safe. Unlike bullets or poisons, traps spare other wildlife from harm while directly targeting the invasive enemy. Humane aspects of net traps. Beyond efficiency, net traps raise another important question. Can they also be a humane solution? Surprisingly, yes. Net traps capture wild hog alive, allowing for safe transfer to invasive species control centers. In Texas, laws go even further. Pregnant sows and mothers with piglets cannot be hunted, with heavy fines for violations. These rules reflect a delicate balance between protecting agriculture and respecting ethical boundaries. The shift away from costly helicopter hunts toward affordable net traps highlights a smarter approach. For as little as $200 in a single evening, entire herds can be captured without firing a shot. This makes them more accessible to small landowners and aligns with a growing call for sustainable and humane practices in invasive species management. Of course, not everyone agrees. Animal rights advocates point out that confining wild hogs in tight traps can cause stress. But experts counter that compared to bullets and poisons, net traps leave no environmental pollution, pose no danger to non-target species, and drastically reduce risks of accidents for hunters and bystanders alike. In truth, this is one of the few scalable, cost-effective solutions available. It works for large-scale land managers, as well as for small farmers who need affordable protection. The hunt for wild hogs is not just a battle against a destructive species. It is also a story about how humans face ecological conflicts, sometimes with brute force, but increasingly with creativity, innovation, and ethics. So, what do you think about net traps? Do they represent a humane, effective future for managing wild hogs, or is there still more work to be done? Type 1 if you support them, or 0 if you're unsure. Share this video to spread awareness of the silent struggle American farmers face every day, and join us in exploring how technology and tradition combine in the fight against one of America's most relentless invaders. Crocodiles as a dangerous invasive species. It is not the wild boar that claims the title of the most dangerous invader, but the crocodile. Unlike many other invasive animals, crocodiles are elusive, cunning, and difficult to detect. They thrive in swamps, rivers, and lakes, where they can vanish into murky waters before launching devastating surprise attacks. Their presence represents not only a danger to wildlife, but also a growing threat to human communities that live close to water. Comment number 1 to join us as we uncover the chilling reality of this reptile. Crocodiles are nature's perfect predators. Silent beneath the surface, they wait patiently until prey wanders too close, then explode with astonishing power. Their diet is diverse. Fish, birds, and even large mammals fall victim to their crushing jaws. Some species, like the saltwater crocodile, can grow over 7 meters long and weigh more than 1,000 kilograms, with a bite force among the strongest ever measured in the animal kingdom. Australia is known worldwide for invasive species, but among them the crocodile is considered the deadliest. With sheer size and strength, these reptiles strike fear across wetlands and riversides. Their capacity for destruction is not only physical but psychological, with local residents living in constant awareness of the lurking danger. Recent years have seen crocodile attacks climb from 85 cases annually to nearly 200, proving that the threat is very real. On June 2nd, 2023, this reality turned catastrophic. That afternoon, a diver in northern Australia was ambushed while exploring a river. The crocodile charged without hesitation, clamping its massive jaws onto his arm. The pressure was like a sledgehammer crushing bone, driving searing pain through his body. With a force measured in thousands of pounds, the predator locked down on his shoulder. As he stared into the cold, lifeless eyes of the beast, he fought desperately to escape, bloody but determined. He broke free and dragged himself to shore to seek help. That memory still haunts him today, and it stands as a grim reminder of the danger crocodiles pose. Because of such attacks, wildlife management agencies are forced to intervene. Crocodile control hunts using firearms have been authorized to prevent further tragedies and to restore a sense of safety to communities living by the water. Crocodile hunting strategies. Wildlife experts note that crocodiles tend to gather in swamps near rivers, especially during the late afternoon when temperatures cool. They often move to the shore in search of prey before retreating back into the water by nightfall. These predictable behaviors are key for hunters who track them. Yet hunting crocodiles is no simple task. Swamp terrain is treacherous, and hunters must remain extremely cautious. Crocodiles are hyper-alert creatures. Even the slightest noise can send them sliding back into the water. This makes stealth and patience essential. Professional training is required, as a single mistake in such an environment could cost a hunter his life. A typical hunt demands long hours of waiting in silence. One such expedition ended when 3 crocodiles finally emerged from the grass to investigate bait left by hunters. At that moment, a single rifle shot rang out, striking one of the beasts and leaving it motionless. While successful, such encounters highlight the extreme risk involved. Teamwork is crucial. Hunters often move in groups for safety, ensuring that if one person is endangered, others can respond immediately. Licensing regulations in Australia are strict to ensure that crocodile hunting is sustainable and does not devastate wild populations. The official hunting season runs from January through June, with strict limits of 2 adult crocodiles per day. Obtaining a license requires meeting several conditions. Applicants must be over 18 years old, physically capable, and complete training in safety and resource management. Crocodile hunting demands agility, strength, and the ability to respond to sudden, life-threatening situations. For some indigenous communities, crocodiles are also sacred animals tied deeply to cultural traditions, adding another layer of complexity to modern hunting practices. Ethical concerns and traps for crocodiles. But firearms bring controversy. Shooting crocodiles causes immense suffering, sparking ethical debates about whether such methods are sustainable or humane. What do you think? Leave a comment with number 1 if you agree that hunting with guns is necessary, or number 0 if you believe other methods should be explored. Because crocodile attacks have increasingly occurred near residential areas, governments have also turned to traps. These devices reduce waiting time and increase the safety of hunters. Iron traps are carefully placed in waterways where crocodiles are known to appear. Measuring up to 12 feet long and 10 feet wide, they prevent crocodiles from swimming freely and allow large groups to be captured alive. A single trap can secure 5 to 10 crocodiles at once. However, setting and retrieving these traps is extremely dangerous. Crocodiles weighing hundreds of kilograms fight furiously when restrained. In some cases, it can take 5 strong men nearly 2 hours to drag a crocodile from the water using ropes. The sheer strength and endurance of these animals make every capture a battle of human persistence against primal power. Despite the danger, traps are considered more humane than firearms because they capture crocodiles alive for relocation or management. Yet stress and injury are still concerns, fueling ongoing debate over whether this approach truly balances safety with compassion. Crocodile population control and illegal hunting. Once captured, crocodiles are transported to authorities for processing. This helps monitor population size and identify hotspots of activity. In recent years, strict measures have reduced invasive crocodile numbers in some Australian regions by up to 30%, easing the pressure on both residents and ecosystems. But illegal hunting continues to undermine these efforts. Some individuals and organizations ignore regulations motivated by profit. Crocodile skins are sold on the black market, fueling a trade that is both illegal and ecologically damaging. This reckless activity disrupts management strategies and puts wild populations at further risk. Authorities have responded with heavy penalties, including imprisonment and the permanent revocation of hunting licenses. Only by enforcing laws and maintaining responsible management can Australia hope to protect both people and ecosystems from the dangers posed by uncontrolled crocodile populations. Call to action and public engagement. Crocodile hunting is more than just an adventurous pursuit. It is a necessary measure to protect Australian communities from one of the most dangerous predators in the world. But the methods we choose matter. If you believe firearms are the most effective solution, comment number 1. If you support traps as a safer and more humane choice, comment number 0. Share this video to raise awareness about the growing crocodile threat and the strategies being used to confront it. The battle against invasive species is ongoing, and the public plays a vital role in shaping the path forward. Do you think there are better solutions we have yet to explore? Leave your comments and ideas below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share to support our channel.